Life isn't simple, life is messy, and so is trying to live out your faith in a fallen world. That's really the heart behind Life Before Eternity. So you heard a bit about how I got saved, and not too long after I got saved, maybe like half a year later, something like that, I was sent by my home church to serve in Osaka, Japan at this church, and it was there that I recognized that in countries like Japan, where there's less than 1% Christian, not even half of 1% Christian, that there's so many new Christians, baby Christians, that don't have a mature, older Christian to go to and ask the questions that they have so that they can, learn and grow and know practically how to live as a Christian in this environment that's foreign to the Christianity that they know or they've seen from the West. Faith in Jesus isn't just a Western thought or idea. So I wanted there to be some kind of place where women from all walks of life in different places in life could come and ask their practical questions as far as how do I live for Christ right now in this season of life that I'm living in, or how do I address this issue that I'm dealing with that's maybe not specifically word for word written down in the Bible. I just remember thinking how hard it was for me to really understand what it meant to be a Christian practically in my life right after I became a Christian. The inspiration came from my experience in Japan, but it was something that I wasn't really able to pull off or pull a trigger on while I was in Japan. And it was after I came home after serving for 2 years in Japan that I kind of came back to Memphis and started going to this church plant that my mentor had recommended to me, the Pursuit Church. And it was there that I met my husband, and that was so right on time. Being with him was just so amazing and such a refreshing time for me right after serving 2 years straight, full time as a missionary on staff at a church. So it was so I had a bit of a time of refreshment, but also dived right into the practical things of trying to get a job and trying to get money to have a car and things like that. So that when we got married, there wouldn't be an issue as far as trying to provide for ourselves and our family. And so that happened. I went to several jobs, and I really didn't find anything that I was happy doing. Anything that I felt was really worth my time, that I felt like I could really commit to. And so I decided to go back to school and get a degree in Christian counseling. It was during that time that God brought back to my remembrance that idea of starting this place, starting this community for women from all walks of life, where they could ask those questions, or they could, get that information about living their life out practically, the Christian life out practically. And so God brought that back to my remembrance, and I felt that God was really impressing on my heart to start writing and to start doing my ministry through my blog and through making videos and different media like that. And so after having experienced being a missionary for 2 years, I really wasn't interested in being put in a position again where I have to ask people for money. One of the things I really prayed about and asked God to do, as I felt like He was putting it on my heart, was, would you please make a way for me to have money? What am I going to do about the salary that I would be giving up if I stopped, working to pursue this ministry that I feel like you're calling me to? God, if you're really asking me to do this, I need you to open this door for me so I don't have to worry about my family, because it's not just me anymore. And about 2 weeks later, out of the blue, my husband wasn't even looking. A headhunter called him, a recruiter called him and asked him to call and put in an application for this job. And so it was an engineering job, and it's very competitive in Memphis. So he hadn't yet, since his first job out of school, had a real engineering job that he wanted since that time. And so he called and he applied, and by God's grace he got that job. And the crazy thing about it is the answer to my prayer was that this job not only replaced his old salary and more, it combined my salary and his salary that we were both making at the time together in one salary for that job. And so very quickly, we both, as we had both been praying about it and talking about it and asking an elder at the church and talking to him about it, God really just showed us very quickly that this is something that he wanted me to pursue. And so after that, I finished my degree. I put in my 2 weeks notice. My husband helped me launch Life Before Eternity. It's now a ministry under my church. The people from the church give to help keep the ministry going. This is my full-time job, my full-time ministry. I don't get a salary from the church, so this is why you might see like on the website there's a shop and like the Avon shop and things like that. So if Life Before Eternity has been something that's helpful to you and blessed you, I do encourage you to shop from my Avon shop and shop from my merchandise shop. But if you are watching this and you're thinking about starting your own blog or your own ministry, feel free to ask your questions, and now I can maybe do a video response to that. But that's how God made this Life Before Eternity ministry happen. And I just like to end this video by really saying that I appreciate my husband so much. He's my #1 supporter, and that without my husband's support and encouragement and believing in me and always just pushing me forward to go where I feel like God is calling me to do, there would be no Life Before Eternity. There would be no writing. There would be no YouTube videos, nothing. So I really want to say publicly that my husband is awesome and I love him very much. And thank you so much, Gerald, for everything that you do. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your questions and comments below.